Myths about bilingualism or multilingualism. There's so much bad information out there. Okay, number one, using more than one language will confuse children who are learning to talk. No. We have so much research that proves that statement wrong. First, we know there's so many benefits from learning more than one language. Your child's cognitive development typically will be better, their problem solving, their social skills, and bonus, or perhaps the most important thing, your child will be more connected to family members in your community if they speak your primary language. Two, speaking more than one language will cause a speech delay. Again, wrong. What we do know is that when your child learns more than one language, there's so many benefits. There is a positive impact on cognitive outcomes, problem solving, social engagement, social skills, and again, they're more connected to family and community. So keep going. Three, if your child has a speech delay or if they're autistic, you definitely should just use one language so it doesn't make it worse. Again, false. I already told you that using more than one language around your child won't cause a speech delay. It is possible that your child who is learning more than one language already has a speech delay, and that typically will show up in both languages. If they're a little bit less proficient in the new language, it just usually means that they're still learning, not that there's a delay. If your child is autistic, we also have wonderful research showing that autistic children can learn more than one language just like other kids, and it doesn't cause delays in that group of kids either. Four, you need to make sure you use one parent, one language in order to help your child learn best. Also false. One parent, one language means one parent speaks one language and another parent speaks the other language. That's if there's only two languages. Sometimes parents are speaking more than two languages. If you want to use that approach, one parent, one language, you certainly can. Children learn really well that way. But you don't have to. They don't learn better that way. They can learn if parents switch back and forth between different languages or if one parent speaks one and one parent speaks the other. You get to decide. If children mix languages together, that means they're confused. Wrong. As I just said, children learn language from the person that they're talking to, right? So if your child is talking to the person that is speaking Spanish, for example, they're likely to know that in that situation, it's most appropriate for them to speak Spanish. Then if they're speaking to a person who's speaking Mandarin and they also know Mandarin, they're pretty good at figuring out that they should speak that other language. So when they're around somebody who mixes languages, that means basically that you're using more than one language in a sentence. You may just be adding in one word of a different language, or you might be using phrases from each language in the same sentence. The same way your children learn the language from the folks that they're listening to, they learn how to speak from the people that they're listening to. They do what the adults around them or other people around them are doing. Some scientists actually think that this means that they're extra good at using both languages. Now, there's one situation that can happen over time. If your child is speaking Hebrew, for example, and they don't know the word in Hebrew for dog, but they do know it in English, they may use the English word in their Hebrew sentence because they're picking the word that describes what they're trying to communicate. If you want your child to learn a new language, maybe you've moved to a new place, you need to stop speaking your primary language or your home language. False. So there are a couple of reasons why we actually don't want to do this. So if you as a parent don't know the new language as well and you only speak that with your child, there's a risk that that can kind of make the quality of your interactions with your child or your conversations not quite as good. And we want your kids to build a strong foundation. Second, we don't want your child to lose your primary language or your home language. So your child is going to have lots of experiences around folks that speak the new language that you are hoping that your child learns. But when you continue to speak your primary language with your child, you help them continue to be able to speak it, continue to be part of your family and your community, and then also have a really good foundation for learning a new language. This doesn't mean that it's bad to practice learning the new language and speaking the new language with your child every so often. Everyone's learning. But we just want to make sure that parents don't think that, oh, we need to completely stop speaking this language if we want them to learn the new language. Keep using your family's language as you and your child learn a new language. Last myth. If we don't start early with our child and teach them more than one language, is it too late? No. We do know that there is this period of time where infants and toddlers are really good at soaking up and learning new languages. It's never too late to start. Some scientists think that older children also are really good at learning languages because they're approaching it in a different way, based on all the communication experience that they've had and their experiences learning in school. So it's never too late to start using more than one language with your child, and there is never a reason to stop using more than one language with your child if that's how your family communicates. Leave any questions for me in the comments. Subscribe if you want more speech and developmental information, and share this information with anyone who you think needs to know.